Hello, my name is Anna. I am a manufacturing expert at Odoo, and today I am going to show you the new features of the version 15.4. We will discuss 5 different topics. The 3 first ones are related to the planning. We have the work order dependencies, the planned time versus the operating time, the work center's specific capacity. Then we are going to discuss the propagation on quantities for the pickings when manufacturing in 2 or 3 steps, and a new feature that is available in the repair. Let's start with the work order dependencies. In order to do so, we are going to go to our database, manufacturing application, configuration, and settings. And here we need to make sure that the work order dependencies checkbox is checked. Then we are going to select one of our bill of materials, in this case for the table. And here in the miscellaneous tab, I need to make sure that the operation dependencies checkbox is checked as well. Then, if I go to my operation tabs, a blocked by field will appear. Here, you will be able to select the operations that are linked to this BOM, but also you can create new ones. In this case, I can say that the drilling operation depends on the cutting operation. I have also a second operation, the sanding, that also depends of the cutting operation. This means that these 2 operations will remain as waiting for another operation as long as the first operation, the cutting one, has not been marked as done or a minimum quantity has been recorded. Then I have a fourth operation, the assembly, that will depend of the drilling and the sanding. So the status will remain as waiting for another operation as long as the drilling and sanding has not been completed or at least a minimum quantity has been recorded. This also means that the status of several work orders can be changed simultaneously. That means that once the cutting operation has been marked as done, the two next operations that depend on this one are going to be ready at the same time. So let's create a manufacturing order for our table. We can create a manufacturing order for our table. I'm going to pick the right bill of materials, and let's say that I want to plan this for the 25th of July at 9 a.m. Then if I save and confirm, let's plan our manufacturing order. And if we go to the planning by work center, let me take the 25th of July. I'm going to show the day, and here you can see that this has been planned accordingly to the dependencies that we set up on the bill of materials. First, we have the cutting operation, then we have the drilling and the sanding, which are planned at the same time because they depend both on the cutting. And finally, we have the assembly, which depends on the second and third operation. As you can see, you have gray arrows here that will show you the dependencies. And if I, for example, want to reschedule my assembly and I want to put here, you can see that the arrows become orange because there is a conflict in the dependencies. I have this possibility to put it back as it was before, or also, let's say I put it back here, I can reschedule all the operations that are putting conflict with the other arrow. By clicking here, I already solved the first conflict, and if I click here, I will solve the second conflict. So now everything is set up correctly. I can also say that I will break the link between my dependencies with the red cross. And let's say I break it here and I break it here. So in this case, I could start my operations at the same time. And by breaking the link here, this doesn't mean that we will break the link that is created in the bill of materials. It is going also only to break the link for this specific manufacturing order. So let's discuss the second feature, the planned time versus the operating time. Here you can see that Odoo will show me the work center planned time versus the operating time for the slot that I am currently looking at. In this case, I am looking for the day. So in one day, I have 8 hours available, and as you can see, I have planned 1 hour for each work center, which means that I have 1 hour of 8 that has been planned. Let's take, for example, 1 week. Let me take the previous week. So here you can see that in 1 week I have 40 hours available, and I have already planned 3 hours for the first work center. For the second, I planned 2, and so on. And then you can see that if I take the current week, since we are on Tuesday, I already have the availability that is set up regarding the remaining time that we have. So in this case, for 1 week, I normally have 40 hours, but since I am on Tuesday, I have only 32 hours remaining. And here we are going to see the planned time that is corresponding to this remaining time. Now let's talk about the third release, the work center specific capacities. If we go back to our manufacturing application, let's take one of our work centers, the assembly line. In this case, we can see that there is now a new tab, specific capacities. In this tab, you can define capacity based on products instead of applying the same capacity for all the products. For example, you can produce 10 phones but only 2 computers at the same time in the same assembly line. In this case, we are going to make an example with the drawer black, for which I can produce 2 units at the same time, but for the special drawer, I can only produce 1 unit at a time. So let's create one manufacturing order for my drawer black. If I take my drawer black here, you can see that I am using the assembly line. I want to produce 2 units, and I'm going to plan this manufacturing order for let me change the day, the hour. Let me change this. I'm going to plan this in the afternoon. Save plan. Okay, and now let's plan 2 units of our special drawer. So let me create a new manufacturing order, and we are going to take the special drawer. I'm going to make as well 2 units. In this case, I want to start at 14, no, at 15. Okay, save, confirm, plan. And you can see as well that I'm using the assembly line. And now if I go to planning by work center and I take the date of today, you can see that I have 2 drawer black planned, but I am only taking 1 hour. And here I have 2 special drawers and I am taking 2 hours because I can only manufacture 1 at a time. Now let's talk about the fourth release, the propagation on quantities for the pickings when manufacturing in 2 or 3 steps. We need to go to our inventory application, warehouses. I'm going to select our warehouse. I'm going to manufacture in 3 steps. Let's save. And now I'm going to create one manufacturing order for my drawer. So let's take our special drawer and let's manufacture 10 units. If I save and then let's plan, I confirm. Let's plan our manufacturing order. You can see that here two transfers have been created. The first one is the picking of the raw material. So in this case, we need to pick the ply layer and the bolts. And the second transfer, which is the transfer that is going to take our finished products to our post-production location. So I'm going to pick my 10 units, my raw material for my 10 units. So in this case, I need 40 ply layers and 10 bolts. So let's validate this picking. And if I go back to my manufacturing order, let's say that I want to change the quantity to produce. Instead of producing 10, I want to produce 5. I'm going to approve this change, and you can see that a new transfer has been generated. So in this case, since the picking was already done, one return is going to be created automatically. So I have from my pre-production location to my stock the corresponding raw material for the 5 units that I am not going to produce. So in this case, I can validate again. And let's say that I go back again to my manufacturing order. So I have done the picking for my 5 units. As you can see, for the post-production picking, I have 5 units here. So let's say that I want to make a change again, and I want to produce 7 units. So if I change this to 7 again, I have again one picking that has been created. So let's validate our picking. Apply. I'm going to produce my 7 units. And in case I want to change this to 10 again, you can see that I have one picking from the stock that corresponds to the 3 units that I produced uh, in that I produced. You can see that I have a picking for the 3 units that I produced. I can validate them. And again, in my post-production location, I will have the possibility to move the 10 units again. So let's check the availability. I need to provide a serial number. And I can make my picking. I can validate the serial number of my units. Validate, apply. Last but not least, let's discuss the new features for the repair application. So in this case, I'm going to quickly make a delivery to my customer Tico Addict for one of our tables. So let's sell this table, save, confirm. I'm going to make the delivery of the serial number 5, validate, apply the quantities. This is done. And then let's say that I want to return this table here. So let's return our table. We make the return to return the serial number 5. We validate this, we apply the quantities, and then if we create a repair order for this table, we are able to select here. So first the table, let's say that we select our customer here, the Go Addict, and now I can pick the return. So let's save. You can put the serial number here, save. And now you can select the repair that has the return, that has been already generated for this table. So in this case, the return number 2, I can save and I can confirm my repair. So this was everything for the releases of the version 15.4. I hope you enjoyed to watch this video. Thank you very much.